Hello, everybody. We're obviously off to a really good start with my microphone being muted there. How are we all doing? I hope you are well. I hate it when that microphone mutes itself. I must have pressed something. So, yes, it is the final tonight. I hear everyone's been quite excited, and most of the country is quite drunk because of the final. So, thank you for tuning in. I'm really glad to have you here. Of course, unless there's some other final going on tonight that I don't know about. And good evening, Javier. How are you? So, yes, this is the last time we're going to see this on the live stream. Because, let's be honest, by the end of tonight, we'll have it completely finished building. There'll just be more transfers to do, and you don't want to sit through weeks and weeks of me doing transfers, do you? So, yes, what are the things left to do? Well, we have the springs for the tender. It's focused really well before I drop that. That's annoying. We have the tender drawbar. We have the DCC chip. And we need to paint the handrails. That is about it. Remember, sober engine drivers are safe engine drivers. I quite agree. Weeks and weeks of transit. Surely we'll have this on live stream again if we have a live stream running session. Well, yes, you're right. That is certainly a possibility. Remember to fill your engine with water, not beer. I would never waste alcohol in such a way, Paul. Do not worry. However, you are all reminding me that hydration is important. Isn't that a convenient way to be able to slide the engine back for no reason whatsoever there? I do hear the nation is quite well hydrated this evening though, so you know, there's that. That reminds me, thank you, James. Hang on. There we go. You have the upfield show command back. Does beer make steam? I mean, it's mostly water, so I guess so. The exclamation mark upfield show should take you straight to the exhibition page. I have enabled it, so it best work now. Yay, it did. I noticed we've got no live chat box up here this evening, though. Obviously, we've decided to be away with that. Still in the right place after all my playing. Which reminds me, I must ask this now. How are we streaming? What quality are we in? Are we still stuck in 720p or have I fixed it? That is the question. Okay, the show is 4 hours, 45 minutes away. It's well worth 4 hours and 45 minutes of driving each way. We are still in 720. We are definitely set up to be in 1080p. That is really annoying. Actually, a little dehydrator, Gary, the buzzy stuff is a dehydrator. I mean, I know that, but it kind of spoils the point of what I was saying. That's really annoying after everything I went to get it into 1080. Yeah, it definitely should be set in 1080. Grr. the colours are at least hopefully better. So tonight we are going to start with some painting. With a little paintbrush and a little tub of black. Can confirm colours better. Excellent. So we are going to paint the handrails on the loco and tender, and we are going to paint the springs for the tender. All will be going in black, but we'll cover over Bluebell. Sorry, Bluebell. There are going to be some really nice traders there at the show this year. You know, we're not actually going to cover over Bluebell. Including, I have been told, Newcast partners having a stall at the show this year. For those of you who like Newcast kits. Good evening, Alexander. How are you? I hope you are well. Really nice traders are the best sort of traders. Indeed. We have lost a couple of our regular traders for this year, as we will not have Plus Daughters there, and we will not have Roxy Mouldings there. Roxy Mouldings have now given up doing shows altogether. Plus Daughters, on the other hand, plan to be back doing shows again next year. Smash the like button. Alright, folks, was playing big trains today. Excellent. I approve of playing with big trains. Why have Roxy permanently given up shows? So Dave Hammersley's wife is not a well lady, and he has decided to give up shows to spend more time with her. Will Phoenix have a booth? So usually Roxy brings the full range of Phoenix paints along, so I don't know. I usually use him being there at the show as my yearly top up of Phoenix paints. How has that? Ah, I see what's happened there. There we go. We got it off. It stuck to the super glue. Is it worth asking Squires to bring it? I don't know what Adrian's plans are. He may well have done so. Because he does give traders a list of what they are allowed to stock. But yeah, it will be good having Squires there with the Southeastern Finecast range, and also having Dave Ellis there with the Newcast Partners range. It'll be weird seeing if his stall has changed at all, or if he's going to have exactly the same stall with different kits in it. Black Handguns, Blast wasn't nice, but that's not how they would have actually been. No, they would have been steel for starters, rather than brass. Should have had our vaccines by then too. Well, I have already had mine, so hopefully everyone else can catch up. Should be in the world, and it says, if I just glance in, I sound for some unaccountable reason I've been distracted by sport. I need to catch up on it. It also does look like Upfield will be at the centre of the known universe 16th, 17th of October. Right. No sound, so I shall say hello. Oh wait, I'm in here, yes. I'm waiting for my second dose. I was offered it earlier in the weekend, but read the more effective the full 12-week spacing, so I decided to wait until my original appointment. All I've read is that you should wait at least 8 weeks. I've not heard anything more than that. But I can't say I've been following how far apart your doses should be since having my second one. I hope Linny is. Well, yes, we all hope Linny is. Good evening, Heritage Railway Productions. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. Linny's doing a bit better, thank you. Excellent. High level is trading again, are they? High level will be trading soon if they're not already. He did give an update recently on RM Web. There was a thread on there. He popped in and explained what is going on and why. Had to argue the doctors to get an appointment after 12 weeks. They're trying to get people through with at most 6 weeks here. Fair enough. I mean, since they were originally doing it at 2 weeks, say I didn't know any of this. I just heard more than 8 was good. What am I not? I'm not going to want this tonight. Let's put a row of blue tack along here. I await eagerly for a number of their new gearboxes, so that would be well. Indeed, to say, if you look for the high level Fred on RM Web, he has been on there relatively recently and explained the recent situation and what's going on. I can't remember it well enough to give an overview. Now, again, much like the body, these have all been washed. So should, in theory, take paint as well as the body did. Not that one, I think. Next by the second dose, at least for the AstraZeneca vaccine, which I had. Fair enough. I had the same vaccine as you. I had the AstraZeneca one. Side effects from my second dose were significantly less than those of the first dose. Yes, we're finally getting through the O class, and of course that means next week we can start on South Park Quarry. I am going to try and get the cork cut and down on that layout tomorrow. Which, if I do, I will be pointing the camera at it and saying this is how I do the cork, ready for us to do the track next Sunday. So that even though we won't be doing the boring corky bit on live stream, we will still have it on video. Although I probably won't point the camera at it for the whole of the time the glue's drying though. So you're safe there. Sapphire Quarry Railway. Yeah. Yes, we are Romans. Live stream incorporate would be suboptimal. It would, rather. This is how I cut cork, this is how I stick it down. Now I'm going to put some books on it and we can wait for 24 hours whilst it dries. Probably not the most riveting content. Likewise, 3 hours drop a soldier in would also be suboptimal. Yes, it would. So hopefully we can get that out of the way much quicker than that. I may do some droppers in advance. I won't do them all though, so we can still do some live. And yeah, hopefully we can get the track mostly down next week would be what I would be aiming for. Now, I'm not going to say that's going to happen. We all know that what I'm aiming for and what actually happens are quite often two completely different things. But we shall see. You never know, I might actually meet my target for once. Probably your best model yet. Thank you very much. I thoroughly blame Tom, Mr. TS Design, for his work designing the logo and printing the logo. Hydration is important, everyone. But yeah, often I try not to reveal what my targets actually are, because then you won't be disappointed when I don't meet them. Or more importantly, you won't laugh at me when I don't meet them and fall miserably short, which does happen a lot more often than I'd like to admit. So from here, the decoder is going to go in the tender, which you'll see there is loads of room for in there, so you can just slide up in here and be well away. I can cut the wires about there. At least I could if there they are. Now, of course, I don't actually need all of these. If I can get the ones separated that I actually want to get separated, that would be nice. There we go. So these four we need. That is our grey, orange, red and black. Look at the focus being nice to me for a change. Car. How smooth running do you find the latest DCC chips? I have never had an issue with them. Stay alive rate. This one does not have stay alive on the chip, so no in this case. Those three wires can go away forever. And then we will have, so we've got on here, very nicely marked for us, track left, motor right, track right, as pins across here. This is where we removed the socket back on day one of this build. So I can quite easily just put the red and orange over on this side, the black and grey over on this side, and then we have everything we need. Now, before I move away, with the focus as it is there, my preview looks unbelievably clear right now. I can read the TL and TR off here on my preview. How is that for everyone else? Please do tell me, because I want to know I've got these settings right. I'm going to move away now and carry on. It's looking good. Excellent. Can read them when it focuses correctly. Yeah, fair. I never like stripping wires this thin. Confirm can read text when in focus. Excellent. I'm glad to know the time I spent after the stream wasn't completely wasted. Good evening, Sophia. How are you? I hope you are well. 1-1. Oh dear. People won't like that. Thank you, Paderborn. I do. Although I'm not really a football person, I appreciate the update. Thank you. So far, you've not missed a lot this week. You have missed the entire O-Class build, though. But so far, all we've done is we've painted the handrails black and we've painted the springs for the tender. We are now going to DCC fit so that I can actually run it, and then we need to get a mechanism for coupling the tender. I will be using the drawbar from the Oxford loco that I stole the chassis from, but I need to mount it onto the tender. Yeah, I think that made sense. Good evening, Killian. How are you? I hope you are well. Trains greater than football. I quite agree. Trains are much greater than football. When I'm looking for my pliers in a bit, everyone, I've just knocked them on the floor and they're under my chair. There we go. That is those tinned, and the tip of my soldering iron for some reason really burning. Very well, thank you. And yourself, sir? I am very well, thank you, Killian. Watching paint dry greater than football. I mean, you're not wrong, are you? Really? I am certainly not a fan of watching it. So yes, as we said, we have the 4 pins on here already. They are pre-soldered. So my plan is just to dab them on, add heat, and hope that it works well. The problem will be that they are not going to be so good for the fit of this into this, I do believe. They might get... Oh no, there is actually room. I am lying. Ignore me. They can just be soldered straight on the top. That makes me happy. This is why we trial fit. So we're going to start with red, which is the track pickup on the right. And then the orange is the motor connection on the right. And then the grey, that is the motor connection on the left. And the black, which is the track pickup on the left. And there we go, just like that. In theory, we now have a live DCC fitted chassis. Playing soccer is nice, but watching it isn't as fun. I don't even like playing it, to be honest. I don't have the build for it. So once they are connected together, that will go up in there, and we will not see it, he says, hopefully. Car, flathead screws, what year is this? So, tender connection is also rather required. So I say we're going to use the one that came with the loco. So as far as the loco goes, we can just screw it back on. In 2021, I believe it. But thanks, James. 2021 doesn't seem like the sort of year for flat-headed screws. No one uses those anymore. That actually lines up quite well with where I was hoping it would. Now we see how, like, I'm going to pick up those pliers now. There we go, they're not on the floor anymore. They're away. Now we see how organised I am. Because I only thought of this method for mounting the screw into the tender earlier today. So I haven't had a chance to go into the shop and steal supplies. This looks too big. I think there was a pin on the tender edge, but it might have come off doing support removal. There's definitely not now. But there we go. For future everyone, it does come with one. You're an even bigger hole, that's no good. We need smaller holes. You're definitely wrong because you're a flat sheet. Even better, a box-headed Canadian type. Still standard on Even better, box-headed Canadian type that allows for more torque. I mean, I was just going to go with standard Phillips heads like most people use, but there we go. Hydration is important, as is my coaster that fell on the floor. So my plan was that I would get a bit of plastic hard tubing and mount it just inside there. with lots of epoxy. That's the word. But all the ones I've got are too big. So I think instead we are going to go the other way. I'm sure I saw a bit of rod in here a second ago, and mount a pin to drop down through. Which for me works just as well because I like my tenders to be removable. I am the most prepared YouTuber ever, aren't I? Yeah, it's very slightly too big, that one. Darn. Aha. This might do as a temporary one. Could you attach a screw to the drawbar pointing upwards into the tube? So I've got the screw that comes with it, and my original plan was it would screw up into the tube, but the tube is too big. Do you like the dapole tender coupling design on the D-Class? I love it. I think it's fantastic. I have here a small piece of rod that can go in here as something most likely temporary, but at least giving us an idea of what we're after. There we go. So it definitely doesn't need to be quite that long. The bottom of where I'm holding it there seems about right. Let's put that down before we break it. Now, I think the dapole drawbar is absolutely fantastic. So we are going to epoxy it in, and we're going to hope it works. Because this is essentially the last thing to do building wise on this loco. big old dollop of epoxy there. And that should hold it. What, no lamp irons? When do I ever get round to adding lamp irons? Someone remind me to buy some lamp irons and I'll add lamp irons. How's that? Because I don't have any. And do you want me to? And do you want to see me sully this model with lamp irons made from staples? Because I don't want to do that. And in fact, it's not the last thing we need to do because we still need to stick these on, which have taken the paint very, very nicely. I don't think they even need a second coat, if I'm being honest. It appears to have started raining in London. Well, it hasn't yet. We shall soon find. I'm sure it will soon be here, though. You're not that far away from me. Disguise, no, they're still called lamp irons. It's decided it's quite determined to tip itself forward now. But it's slightly leaning backwards and see if it moves. That would be irritating if it did. And then stuck like that. Oh no, it's going to tip over sideways instead. It should be dry enough that it can sit that way up. No, it's not. Darn it. It actually wants me to sit and hold this for 5 minutes, doesn't it? That's not happening. Raining in Hastings? Ah, it must be really due here soon then. Hydration is still important, even when your thing's falling over. Definitely raining in London now. That means it's going to come down hard, doesn't it? I wanted to go in the garden again tomorrow. Never mind, I'll play with my new VR headset instead. Because why not? tell you what, I've never enjoyed a train simulator like I'm enjoying VR Derail Valley. I've never been a huge fan of them. I've stuck with them, played them for a few weeks, and then I get bored. But I'm really enjoying Derail Valley in VR mode. And highly recommend it. So it's interesting. I've never used VR. How do you find it? I love it. It has not made me motion sick, which I hear is the big one. What is Derail Valley? It is a train simulator designed for virtual reality. So it has non-virtual reality play-in as well. But it is designed for virtual reality. And so far, I have never derailed. But I have driven a little 040 diesel around lots, hauling lots of freight round the valley known as Derail. Okay, I probably should have started with a smaller amount of epoxy and added more later, I understand. But it does genuinely feel like I am driving that loco. Which is pretty fantastic. Except for all those times I forget to switch the reverse around and I end up pushing a train backwards into a wall, etc. Have you ever played BeamNG? I have not. Streaker. Oh, for goodness sake, why do people do... See, that's just stupid. Have we not lost yet? That's starting to harden up quite nicely now, so that should be okay. He says, hopefully. But no, I am not aware of BeamNG, James, so I have not played it. What we are going to do now is put some lining on here whilst we hope that dries nicely, and then stick the springs to it. We are going to do the valances, which is up, along, down and back along. So nice simple lining. Much easier than trying to do inside these right now. I feel like even I could manage it. Car driving simulator, ultra realistic soft body physics. Ah, interesting. So I very much got the VR so that I could play the virtual reality Walking Dead game and, you know, kill some zombies and stuff. I have got that game. I have not yet played it because I've been too busy playing trains. And losing days to children being children. Because for those that don't know, my daughter was very clever this week and fractured her ankle. So we had to spend lots of time down A&E. Very much a sandbox. See, I like games to have a goal, which is one of the things I like about Derail Valley, is you have to you choose jobs and do these jobs and get paid for them, and you have to, get paid to advance, get more trains unlocked, etc. Do hope she feels better soon. She is coping with it surprisingly well. There are scenarios with goals. Excellent. I like scenarios with goals. That is good. The only game I really play without set goals is Minecraft. But that's a bit of a creative outlet. It's raining in Hicktown now. Get involved in delivery driving races or police chases or similar, or even a commute to work. Even a multiplayer version, third party add-on is slightly hackish. Well, nothing wrong with being slightly hackish, but if I want to get involved with delivery driving or commuting to work, I have a van outside. Oh no! I forgot to put the microset on the loco. That was silly. And when I say that it's raining, I'd like to remind you I'm in a room with no windows. So for it to be raining and me be hearing it, that is large rain. Admittedly, I was listening out for it, but that's not the point. Do imagine this might not be much escapism for you, but I haven't driven a car since 2016, and that was a hire car on holiday. Haven't, and I hadn't driven since 2009 when I hired it. Car. I am much more of a. I love driving things. I could not go that long without doing it. Nice line in, thank you. It is a nice long straight line along there. I should really. Put the one of them that goes on second on. Right. Microsol goes on second. Okay, no, I'm going to put the microset on the rest of it. Get the rest of the transfers on that bit. That's not long enough. And then we'll microsol and cut it down appropriately. Are you going to line the splashers? Yes, at some point. So the plan is this gets as far as it gets tonight, and the rest I will do off camera. Because after tonight, all that's going to be left to do is some transfers. I'd rather have relaxing time somebody else drive, preferably a train driver. Nah, I love driving. So Tom did a very good job on the O. Obviously, you've done a great job building its excellent representation of the prototype. It is indeed. Tom has done a fantastic job on it. Trains greater than cars. I agree, but that doesn't stop me enjoying driving. Very smooth, thank you. Full time, 1 on, extra time to come. Thank you, Paderborn. So not long till I was right saying we were going to lose. Let's not drop the microset everywhere this week. Partly because I don't want to waste the rest of it, partly because I haven't set up a microset spill command yet. Microspill. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll name it Microspill and have the response as something like set Sol, who cares, it's over the workbench. See, I do plan these things. Oh, look, there's a link to my website to remind you it exists. I mean, I've not put anything on it in ages. I really should write something on the blog. But I mean, I started the blog because I wanted to write something, not because I was going to do it regularly. Doing the live stream every Sunday. And the video on a Thursday is enough actual commitment for me. Good evening, Corbs. How are you? We are indeed doing lots of decals. And have you seen, I do it properly now with microset and stuff. And I definitely don't spill the microset all over the workbench and leave the recording studio smelling like vinegar for a week. to line it. No. That would imply I like to line it. I very much deny any knowledge of enjoying decals and transfers. Yeah, it'll be fine. I don't care that it's too long. I will cut it down once it's stuck. They're all a bit too long. You'd be amazed at how well these transfers hide under a bit of paint. And no, I definitely shouldn't be doing this one yet. I am well aware of that. What is your point? That would be fine to be tidied up later. We have the front of a box. So the two lines going forward will need to go, obviously. But as I say, you'd be amazed how well these hide under a bit of paint. Oh, that's not good. I left the other one in there way too long. And it came off the backing paper. But it worked, and we have the box at the back now. And now to use a bit of microsol to completely ruin it all. Because why wouldn't we do that? This will be the one time it doesn't lift anything and goes down absolutely fine and makes a liar out of me, won't it? No, there we go. So how are we all doing this? Oh, good evening, Rob. How are you? I hope you are well. Yes, I was just saying, how are we all this evening? Are we doing well? What are we up to? Obviously, I'm aware some of you are watching some other final, but we'll ignore that. Evening, Gary. I'm your thanks. How's you, chap? I am very well, thank you. Excited to be finishing this project, and I am going to refill my hydration vessel. Engage carriage interior lighting. Oh, excellent. Playing Double O Trains whilst watching the live stream. Fantastic. I hope that lovely H1 of yours is getting a nice bit of a run. Building Linny's wagons. Aha. I approve of building Linny's wagons. CAD for an early sharp Stuart tender. Excellent. There we go. That's nice and solid now. Looks like a lovely O-class. Thank you, Rob. Thank you very much. Of course, the real credit goes to Mr. TS Design here for designing it. But it is a fantastic model. And look, there we go. The loco and tender are now coupled. It works. What we're going to do now is put the springs on it. Currently knocking together a clapboard shelter for my diorama. Excellent. I saw the one that you put up there earlier saying you were going to use, and it looked really good. I look forward to seeing how it comes out. Mind there, yeah, there was a bit of a gap, Tom. I wasn't going to mention it, so yeah, thanks for bringing it up. Hydration is still important, everyone. So are mugs with terriers on them. Remember, exclamation mark merch in the chat to get a link to my store that no one buys anything of. So, you know, don't. Or do if you want to support me, because, you know, I do get paid from that. Poking my bug body again. Excellent. I cannot wait to see how that turns out, Lenny. Gap is Oxford's, so I blame them. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'll blame Oxford for the gap. Currently modelling Crawley's LVSCR signal box and O-gauge 3D printing for the club's new O-gauge layout. Fantastic. I've been looking at your thread again, Rob, and I just want everything you've done. At least one of. A lot of it I want. Multiples. But yeah, it all looks so fantastic. We must discuss that at some point. Always Libby. It would indeed. It would indeed. Terrier, Spell Valley have got one visiting. We'll be on her on Sunday. Fantastic. I approve of anything Terrier related. I'm sure everyone's shocked to hear that. And yes, you would like a nice signal box, wouldn't you, Linny? You signalling person. That's why I get you to do all my signalling. Let's go, super, yes. I need to send you cat wagons to build. Oh, yes, definitely. Cattle wagons will be fantastic. So a bit of super glue on the back of there, applied with a pin. Excellent, I held that well, didn't I? Line it up with the holes in the footplate and stick it on. Approval of Lynn approval of signalling. Lynn is very good at signalling, James. LBSC Terriers are the ones with 4 legs. Why not both? I mean, obviously I was referring to LBSC ones, but why not both? Fancy building them on your live stream? I would love to build some on the live stream, Rob. They will perhaps end up being a useful distraction for when we all get bored of me layout building, which is what we're starting next week. Some layout building. Approve of outside sprung tenders. They are fantastic, aren't they? And there we have one side all sprung. So that's no cat wagons too. Okay, those cat wagons are just the job. They do look good, don't they? I am a big fan of Rob's work. I very much enjoyed the brake van I built. That was great to do. And you know, Rob, if you ever feel like going professional and selling your stuff, I do now work in a model shop. Just saying. And there we go, there is side 2 all sprung. This will be the one that I broke back on day 1 of this build. But it's fine. Look at that, we have a DCC fitted SER O-Class. It's rather nice, isn't it? In SER livery. I am very happy with that. Sounds something else you think they would sell in your shop? I do indeed think they would sell in my shop. We get a lot of kit builders and scratch builders in, and we are in the heart of Brighton territory, being in Eastbourne. So if you fancy it, we should definitely talk about that. It's beautiful. It is, isn't it? It's car. I don't think you should be doing Italian accents tonight, though, even if you are in Scotland. Hydration is still important. It's rather warm here. Yeah, Tom has done a fantastic job on this loco, and I hope Tom is very proud. I've completely ruined the lining on that we've put on this side though. There they are. Let's stretch it out and see what can be salvaged. I'm going to assume none of this lot. There we go, we got it to break. So we just need to fill in that gap there. Just a little gap. I think it looks alright. Need to come up with an easy method of doing delivery before I make my own though. It is fantastic, Tom. And the livery is not hard, it's just tedious. Were the splashers lined on these? Yes, splashers are lined as well. So there's my picture I'm working from with the livery. Lined splashers, line in there. We've still got to go round the steps and we've got to do down and around the balancing on the tender as well. But most of that will be for off-camera time. So that we can do something fun on camera. And it's going to be an interesting one on that next week. Would it be one by Gareth? I honestly don't know. You'll have to ask Linny. Linny sent it to me. But yeah, next week's going to be interesting. So, for those that don't remember with the layout, South Park Quarry fit perfect on my old workbench lengthwise. So I had to move all my tools and everything, but I'd clear everything off the workbench, I could put South Park Quarry on it. Of course, that workbench didn't have a shelf just here. So South Park Quarry can only go up to this shelf. And we don't get a lot of room from that shelf before we hit where the laptop sits that runs the live stream, and then the end of the workbench just behind it. So I'm going to have fun with that next week. I don't know, I found it on the internet. So there you go, Killian. It could be. Of course, it's even more impressive if it is. The up straight camera. There we go. No, don't stick to the tweezers and pull all the way back along. Do you not know how hard it was to get you to line up properly? Silly transfer. Nothing less than I expect from him if it is. Well, no, you're quite right, it's not. He is a fantastic modeler. There we go, all repaired. And now it's dry, so I can put the microsol on. There we go, just like that. That'll evaporate off, it'll dry nicely, and we'll have all that lining done. Then it's just the splashes to line on that side. Obviously I've got all the same to do on the other side still, but we won't think about that and it'll be fine. Ah, I appear to have knocked a little bit off there at some point. Let us quickly fix that. Obviously the whole logo still needs varnishing as well, then we won't have this problem with me rubbing in the transfers. Out of interest, everyone, how many viewers does YouTube say I have right now? Because I have two different numbers from Streamlabs. I've got one number up in the corner of the screen and I've got another number sat where it's actually supposed to be telling me how many viewers I've got. So YouTube does agree with that one, saying 13 up in the corner. Interesting, thank you. So on my screen, I have above my chat box a window that's supposed to give me all the details. Like, tells me how long I've been live, gives me access to chat settings. I think it gives me full access to the channel settings, and it gives me a viewer count. And it currently says 5 viewers, which obviously is quite different to the 13 that it's telling me up in the corner. And yet, they're in theory both pulled from the same place by the same program. Because of course the number in the corner of the screen, much like the number on mine, is provided by Streamlabs. Must be the amount of people who are actually paying attention. Right, you think there's 5 people actually paying attention? My God, I must be doing well tonight. 13 greater than 5. It is indeed. Streamlabs view account was consistently wrong back when I used it. I'm surprised, not surprised it still doesn't work. Fair enough. Thank you, Alex, and welcome. How are you? I hope you are well, etc., etc. It usually works for me. but I've not seen it move for a while, which is what made me suspicious of it. Because I don't get consistent viewer numbers over, say, 10 minutes, never mind the hour or so that I've not seen that move for. Been here since 7:15, just lurking. Don't ask how I am. You don't want to know. Oh, but I wouldn't ask if I didn't want to know. I had assumed you were lurking the whole time. 7:50 is a bit early. That means you beat me by quite a bit. I wasn't even in the recording studio at 7:50. Hydration is important. But yeah, I wouldn't ask if I didn't want to know. Keep it open in tab. Sometimes I get it open much earlier. Fair enough. Fair enough. So we are going to line round here, which is going to be so much fun. I'm really looking forward to this and definitely haven't been putting it off for like 2 or 3 weeks. But if we can do that, it's going to, this side of the tender will be completely complete. And we'll make our end of stream picture, or end of stream view of the loco so much better. And that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Let's lower the camera down to a better angle so you can see better. I've just hydrated, but come back when I haven't. Now we're going to be relying quite a lot on the flexibleness of these transfers with some microset here to get anywhere close to the shape of the back of this. So who's ready for me to completely mess up and laugh at me? If you even so much as thought me in response to that question, I've got some terrible news for you. 2 years streaming, never seen it happen yet. I've messed up loads of times. This is not one of those times though. That went on beautifully round the shape of that the back of the tender. I am very happy with that. But I'll have none of those lies that I've never messed up before. And you're totally entitled to laugh at me when I do. So, more microset. I'm really finding these do work much nicer with the microset and microcell. And I wish I'd started using it earlier. I have to take these things more seriously now that I'm a professional modeller though, don't I? Look, there we go, now I'm messing up that transfer. You didn't have to be disappointed, you just had to be patient. Tell you what, even my laptop's noticing it's warm in here today. The fan is going full speed all night. So since we've actually passed 10:30 now, for those that weren't here earlier, welcome, how are you? And what projects have we got on this evening whilst I work away on the live stream? Of course, 10:30 is when I normally ask that. How many of you are secretly watching the football? Not so secretly. It's alright, I don't mind. I'm definitely not. Excellent. I can't say I'm surprised to hear that, Killian. I would have been much more surprised if you told me you were. There we go, let me go. Up this side of the axle box and down this side. And I've got to go around the hole that the axle box slides up and down in as well. This one's had a bit of time to dry now, let's fill it in. I would do all transfers in order if I could, so that the lining grows. It's much more entertaining than the football car. That's saying something. Or football. I mean, not that I disagree, obviously. But I think when it comes to the live stream, I have the best seat, personally. It's a draw with 2 minutes to go. Ah, so it's a nail-biting match then, with as much excitement as that time when we were still using my phone as the camera. And my charger stopped working and we were counting down the battery percentage. And then with just a couple of minutes to go, the charger started working again. That was a fun night. If it's a draw, can they cut the trophy in half? I mean, I'm going to say yes, but I bet they don't. Remember the action film ending live stream? It was great, wasn't it? 1-1 after extra time. So it's on to penalties then. So England are definitely going to lose. Because we all know England do not win on penalties. That's just how it works. Put extra time on twice apparently, it's going to penalties. Yeah. What happens if the penalties end in a draw? Then do they cut the trophy in half? Good evening, Ben. How are you? I hope you are well. Do you need to get out? I do need to get on and finish your 115. Oh, that would be excellent. I would love to see that finished, but no rush, Killian. No rush. I have some news, and I think you'll like, Gary. Excellent. I look forward to hearing this news, and I am glad you are doing well. This news sounds very exciting. What enough terriers I want to? Yay! That is the best news. I approve of buying terriers. Doing well at this, aren't I? Still don't own a terrier. You need to get one, Paul. That is not good enough. And before you ask, no, Paul, the shop does not have a terrier it can sell you. Do you think there's any terriers coming into that shop and getting as far as the shelves? Little need for one up north. They made it as far as Scotland. Everyone needs a terrier. Also, Warden, I can see it in Canada. Excellent. Wadden fits in very well to this live stream because Wadden is the terrier that was owned by the South Eastern and Chatham. Can't not have one. Exactly, Ben. You tell him. All else fails, the chassis could be useful. Yes, the chassis could be very useful for going under a terrier. What else would it possibly be useful for? I am 100% bringing it up to Canada to see its real-life counterpart. Excellent. You'll have to put Wadden on Wadden and take a picture of Wadden on Wadden. Chassis owner is the only reason I... Alex, you hurt me. Your words physically hurt me, Alex. I have 10. Because 10 is a better number of terriers than 0. Need a pee. I've got 4 of those, Sophia. 3 Hatton's ones and a Dean Sidings kit that I built long before the Hatton's one was announced. Use chassis from anyone or a kit. So just see, Tom, you're just being evil. Ten in various flavours, indeed. With, of course, goods green, which should hopefully, with the colour balance, actually look green this week to everyone. Being the latest flavour, that is to be Fenchurch. Once I've got the lining and stuff. I'm going to do what Terry 57 did when he put his Stepney model on Stepney splashers and took a picture. Excellent. Wasn't that with mine? But in the tank top instead. You did. That is in fact green. Yay! Actual green. Yay! We are seeing that it's green. So this has not been touched since last week when people thought it looked black. Admittedly, not everyone did. But it is very much green on camera now, isn't it? Black tank tops, though. But it's green. Yay! Yeah, Fenchurch, as owned by the New Haven Harbour Company. I'm confused, it looked green last week. Yeah, but it didn't look green to everyone last week, did it? But I'm glad it is now looking green to everyone. It does mean my redoing of the colour and stuff has worked. Oh, I believe it's also made the lining show up better on here, hasn't it? That's a lot better than it has been before. You don't have an SER Q1. I do not. Your Q1 does look good. One day I will have one. Do you like the older Hornby Terrier or the new one? I think I know the answer. I mean, the new one is obviously better, but the old one is cheaper. But yeah, Sophia, the long-term plan for me is to have every loco type that the LBSC and SECR had on the 31st of December 1922. And every terrier. All 50 of them. So eventually I will have a Q1. But yes, you have beat me to that. Definitely better, yes. Thank you. I'm glad for the confirmation. In your opinion, though, which one do you think is better for... It's better, and for what reasons? Well, the new one's better because it's better detailed and has a better mechanism in it. And is actually in scale. Yours definitely run better than mine. I'll tell you what, when you can make it along to Eastbourne, bring your Q1 into the shop and we'll have a look at it. See if we can solve these issues you've been having with it. on myself. I know that feeling. But no loco has defeated me yet, so I'm willing to give it a look. Do you do tutorials for fixing terriers? I can do. I've got enough of them. I haven't done one yet, but I could. Hydration is still important, everyone. When in doubt, give it a money bill. No, I've had some very interesting stuff come into the shop with problems. I've had some very interesting things wrong with stuff. Best fits for a terrier is to paint it SECR green. I've got one in SECR green. Oh, Paderborn, you upset the bar. What did you say? It's all over. It's Italy have won, have they? Might be one of those because I'm not the best when it comes to maintenance. Yeah, at some point I will do one then. That is not a problem. I am always open to video requests. And that one seems reasonable enough. It's all over the Didn't like me saying England had lost. Oh, damn you, bot, and your bias. I mean, it was obvious they were gonna lose, let's be honest. They've done well, but they're still the English team. Next door will be happy. She went out and bought an Italy shirt the other day to wind her husband up. If you could do both types of terriers in one, that would be great. That definitely won't happen because I don't have any new ones yet. The fact I can now pick new ones up for trade price means I probably will get some. And over time I might even replace all my existing ones with new ones. I've not put any of this on yet, have I? That's silly. Or I might have done, actually. It looks like I might have done. Oh, wow. Superbly well. First final in years. Not that I'm a big football fan, but the team's definitely strong. Hopefully looking forward to the World Cup in 2 years. Indeed, they did well. The first final since the women's team got to the final of the Euros in 2009. But yeah, I'm not a big football fan either, but I can certainly appreciate that they have done well and have become and are a much better team than the England men's team has been for quite some time. You're all barking mad for terriers, especially me, yes. And I appreciate the pun. Because the best type of pun is more puns. Puns are what I do. Puns are excellent. Have a Bishopsgate. I'm happy to take it off your hands when you replace it. I do not have a Bishopsgate. It is on my list of more interesting ones to do at some point. I will be doing Bishopsgate in its condition when it was after it had been sold to Paulins and Co. and was being used to build a section of the Great Central. I can never remember what line it is it was building. Something to High Wycombe, I think. And it had dumb buffers and massive couplings with hooks on the end of the chains and all sorts done to it. But it kept improved engine green and its name. I have Leadenhall as a sort of engine version. Myself and my friend picked Bishopgate as his. Fair enough. Some small plank wagons to build the scene. I don't know if I'll go that far. But, Paul, that's the Terriers you should get. You should get one of the ones that was owned by Paulins and Co. Obviously. That's why you need one. See, everyone needs a Terrier. Bishopsgate, Surrey, Thames. Can't think what the other two they had were. Might try to convert one to an 062 just to see what it would look like. Too small. Way too small for an 062. Small root studio do the type of side tipping contractors wagons as in the photo. Oh, they I did wonder if they were the same. I thought they looked quite similar. Didn't two end up in South America, never to be heard of again? Yes, Surrey and Thames were sold by Paulins and Co. to the La Plata tramway in Argentina. And were never heard from again. There's not even any evidence they actually made it there. Shame to say I don't have a Terrier. I'm thinking of getting the Dapple O-Gauge one at some point, but not sure whether to get in Stroudley or Umber livery. I have one of the O-Gauge ones in Umber. The Stroudley livery was way too yellow on them, so I steered well away from it and went for the Umber, which does look quite nice. turned into cooked beef. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe they got turned into spam cans. Yeah, I made mine a railway reference. Yes, they are the same type, although expensive as small stuff tends to be. Well, yes. I don't remember if it's Brazil or Argentina. It is close, South America is close enough, let's be honest. Dapple liveries, yeah. Exactly, James. The Dapple hotels look great. They do. I have had 643 since it came out in O gauge, and it only ran for the first time the other day because I didn't have any O gauge track to run it on. The SCR green caught my eye. The O gauge Terrier looks fantastic in SECR green. It's such a beautiful livery on it. It really is. Right, well, improved engine green. Oh yeah, obviously improved engine green is by far the best livery for a terrier. They look like they were designed for each other. Totally not because they were or anything. No, not at all. But as I say, Dapol's improved engine green in O gauge was way too yellow, and I steered well away from it for that reason. What are these you mean, Rob? It sat right next to me. A fantastic bit of kit. It has many issues, but it's a wonderful loco overall. Right, let's put that there. Yeah, exactly, Killian. No working valve gear. No good, is it? Don't think Wales have any left in SECR green. I'd be very surprised if they did. That's it, just hit the camera. It really is. It's many issues, just what you want from a £200 model. Exactly. But it is. But when you see it like this, overall, it's fantastic. And I love it very much. But the SE and CR on the tender is way too close together. The numbers are too big and they are drunk. I mean, look at the numbers on that side. They're too high, they're too far to the left, and they're wonky. The crest on the front splasher is the lowest quality one that I have seen in RTR form. Do you have to keep it one to hand? I do not, unfortunately. It is tucked away in a box. And there are, you're not going to, oh, in fact, look, you can see, if you look at the top of this boiler band, when it focuses. Go on, focus back up here. You can see where this side of the boiler band and this side of the boiler band do not line up with each other. It is like that on all of them. That's the easiest one to fix, because a bit of weathering across the top for smoke, from the smoke coming out of the chimney, and that's gone, that's fine. But it's still annoying for the money. But it is, overall, a fantastic looking loco. And unlike certain Q1s, this runs. What they went for satin on the paint finish and high gloss on the brass, still a thing of beauty. Yeah, the brass work looks so wrong on it being... The thing is, the brass work really horribly looks plastic. We're turning into Sam's trains. No, don't let that happen. I can't even remember if I put any running into my review of this, because I have run it. In fact, that would have been really Sam's trains on me, because I ran it on a bit of track on the floor in the living room. So that would have been really Sam's trains of me, wouldn't it? Thank you for the defence there, Killian. Also, none of my nice things I say about these models are paid for. I need to call it earphones. It's okay. Good night, Linny. Thank you for coming by. I hope you start feeling better very quickly and it isn't the horrible thing. Were you wearing your slippers too? I was not wearing slippers. My slippers very rarely get worn. Just need some sleep. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's not bit. Ornby did exactly the same thing. The weird brass finish on the Great Western single, very odd, doesn't look like brass. Yeah, it is. It's exactly the same as that, and it's. I'm not a fan. Okay, greater than Sam's Trains. Thank you. See, I like to think that whilst we're a much smaller channel than Sam's Trains, I think we've got we've got a great community here. Yeah, Oak Hill is less of a YouTube channel, more of a club we all come to and enjoy each other's company and have some banter. That's how I like to view it anyway. Especially when you go onto the Discord and join that. And we continue the chat all the time. Chill and talk about channels. Yeah, fair enough, Alex. Alex made some points to me the other day about why we should cut this sort of thing out. And he's right. We don't want to incur the issues that he brought up. Quality over quantity. Exactly. Although there is a significant lack of quantity from me as well at the moment. I think I now have 5 videos sat on my laptop recorded, waiting for me to edit them and put them out. Only watching Steve's pre print videos, but like what issues? It doesn't matter what the issues are. It just matters that Alex is right. Yes, and yes, and a single. It's in a box next to me. And as you can see from what else is in boxes next to me, it's in very good company, Paul. And among all the other things we have, one day there'll be a layout that goes with the name of this channel again. I look forward to that day. It does indeed have friends. There's a schools class down there as well. And a Davy Crockett. Are any of you folks going to Bluebell exhibition at the end of the month? I'm hoping I'm going to be able to. I'm not sure if I can yet. Because Paulborough is going to be there for possibly its last ever show, and it's well worth seeing, and I would like to get there just for that one layout again. Layout survives in our hearts and minds, indeed. But the delay for the new one will go on, especially this week after Pico putting the ball head slit back even further. which I believe is actually just the delay I mentioned, what, a month, maybe 2 months ago now? Just finally being made public. I mean, the thing is, no one at Pico told me I wasn't allowed to tell anyone about that. So, if I've announced their delay long before they did, that's their problem. One duty got to try and pop along, haven't been public on Blue Belt since early 2020. Yes, I'm really hoping I can get along. I'm just not sure I can at the moment. Yeah, we've got a couple of guys from club are going along and operating Pulborough as well. And I really want to see it in the flesh one more time. I recently ordered some track. Turns out I got trying steel track instead of modern stuff. Now I have some old track and no clue what to do with it. Build a layout out of old track. That's what I'd do. Oh no, don't drop it on the floor. I don't even really bother with getting second-hand track into the shop when it's offered to me. I'm told it's first come, first serve sort of protocol for train travel. I'm not sure about platform admission. Chef pass the keys I can and ask for you and message you on Instagram. Yeah, sure, that'd be great. Please do. Now, I know Paulborough's going to be at Horsted Canes. It's going to be in the carriage shed. So that's the one I'm really that's the station I'm most interested in going to. But I would like to see the whole show if possible. How long will you be streaming for tonight? I am due to finish in 40 minutes. So my timings are generally pretty regular. UK time is 9 o'clock till midnight. It is currently 20 past 11 UK time. I'm glad that hole's there for me to slip through. It dries in my sanctuary better in company drier than that. Oh. Well, that's right. So good night. See you next week. Good night, Paderborn. Sleep well. Don't work too hard. And all that jazz. Scratch the transfers though. That was silly. I won't be here for that, unfortunately. I'm leaving soon. Fair enough, Ben. Fair enough. I won't hold it against you. And as I like to remind people, these live streams don't go anywhere. You can always watch them afterwards. I'm not going to get it round there like I thought I was. Probably 38 minutes. Well, I make it 36 until I end. Tell you what, it really does lift the tender, all this lining. It's fantastic, isn't it? Don't have to go. Don't have to do what? Not a million miles. Don't say stuff like that. If you're going to compare it to another black livery, compare it to LNWR black at least. Lining makes a huge difference. It really does. And my camera finally being set up better makes a huge difference too. So I'm not going to shorten the stream. I finish when this watch reaches midnight. So we're currently 34 minutes away. There will be no shortening of live streams. Lining breaks up the black, which overall makes it look nicer. Yes. It's a shame that I'm going to have to make it all dirty eventually, isn't it? A goods engine that's still in Southeastern Railway livery 5 years after the Southeastern and Chatham was formed. It's not going to be looking particularly clean, is it? Doesn't want to come off the sheet now. That's annoying. There we go. No, you're supposed to stick to the logo, not to the tweezers. I thought you said after hearing said, I'll short it down. No. I was saying I make it about 36 till I end. One more bit to do. It's the shed pet and someone doesn't want to let it go until management forces them. If only. Not only is it a South Eastern and Chatham loco in South Eastern Railway livery, but it lives at a Brighton shed. So it's definitely not a shed pet. Because it's allocated to Oak Hill. Where if any loco is going to be the shed pet, it's going to be one of the ageing Manning Wardles. Misunderstandings, I'm playing with them unfortunately. Never mind, misunderstandings are fine. No one will hold it against you. But yeah, definitely one of the ageing Manning Wardles, if anything's a shed pet. Thought you said a terrier. Well, it does have a terrier there. But if either of them were to be, if any loco was to become the shed pet, it would make more sense for it to be one of the Manning Wardles, which come from the original company that opened the line before they were bought by the Brighton. And the line was run, from the Brighton side anyway, by those two Manning Wardles until the terrier got reallocated there in 1903. And there we go. That side of the tender is done. There is a bit of line in here, I assure you, even if you can't see it on camera. There you go, you can see it better now that my finger's out of the way. Oh, I'm so happy with that. Now, if we're careful here, we don't want to put loads on the epoxy yet, but we can put some paint on the pin. And it'll look better. Manning Wardles are okay, they're no pecky though, or bear peacock or Fletcher Jennings. Tom, are you still here? I need you. The Manning Wardles need defending. Always heard words, says Manning Wardles. I think they're his favourites, I think. Well, and why not? They are fantastic industrials. I was about to put this in the micro set to clean it. That would have been a bad idea. Never said they were bad, just a bit samey. There's nothing wrong with that. Unless it's Great Western. Samey is one thing, identical is another. Manning Warders are lovely. Recently found the second loco they ever built. Excellent. And you say they're a bit samey, but Manning Wardle were essentially a continuation of E.B. Wilson, which makes the Jenny Lind's Manning Wardles in a weird roundabout way. They're not very samey, are they? Compared to later Manning Wardles that actually came out from Manning Wardle. In words, I'm good. Exactly. And of course, the South Eastern and Chatham had some, which makes it even better. Hydration is important. And carried on using the old diamond safety valve casting. They did, didn't they? I suppose, really, I need to at least attempt to line these splashers. We've got 25 minutes to go, and those splashers are all that are left on this side of the loco. Nah. Nah. Is that all you've got to say on the matter? Oh, talking of Jenny Lind's, good news, everyone. I have ordered the extractor fan for the recording studio, which means we are not far off from me building the new spray booth so that we can do some spraying on stream, but B, the house for the 3D printer so we can print a Jenny Lind. Sorry to lose Sharp Man myself, I no secret that, but E.B. Wilson, Manning Wardle are a close second. It's panic, that's why I glued a piece of cardboard in. Down. that would have been painful if you did. I have some rather large clapboard buildings to build at some point in the future for my exhibition layout. I am not looking forward to it because I've not decided completely how they're going to be done yet. Yeah, Gary getting to print exactly. Gary getting to print his own stuff because it will finally be safe to do so. So, yeah, looking forward to 3D printing adventures. Thank you, Rob. As am I. I was looking at extractor fans the other day. I've managed to pick one up. 35 quid it's cost me for the fan. That doesn't have any ducting or anything yet. I need to get that separately. But for 35 quid, it will move 53 litres of air a second. I think that'll do. So yeah, it'll be very exciting when I get that all set up. The last big job for the recording studio. That fits so nicely. That is almost perfect. I won't know for sure how perfect it is if I put a bottom on it. But before that, I'm going to put another one in the front one. What's the first one you're going to print then, Gary? Linny is going to send me some small things to get started with so that I can get used to doing the printer without wasting quite so much resin. So nothing exciting to start with, but once I'm done, I've got a Jenny Lind from Killian to print. I've got, at some point, my dumb buffered ballast wagons I need to print, but I kind of need to draw the chassis up for those still. So, yeah. Well, I've got a couple of 009 things to print, but I can't remember what they are. I've realised I'm a minute behind. A whole minute? Oh. 115 when I get my rear buffer. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to be short on things to print, am I? But yeah, it's definitely getting very exciting here at the land of Oak Hill right now. There we go, it came off, even if it has. Get your resin off AliExpress, it's way cheaper. Do you have a resin you can recommend? I can't remember the name of the one I was recommended the other day. I've got an Amazon link to it saved. I can't remember what it was called. But anything that can help me save money is a good idea. This one isn't going to fit quite as nicely if I can't get that end unfolded. I think I'm going to have to put up with making some extra bits for it. Never mind. I just use the only cubic resin, most of the clear resin, so if you have any failed prints, you can see the floats in the resin. Go, ah, clever idea, fair enough. That's 2 loops on there. A minute and a half to be precise. Car, catch up, Javier. So slow. Disgraceful. Must have been a time warp at some point. Must have been, yeah. Well, I found it when back in the days when I used to watch live streams, I found it was quite easy to fall behind over time and not notice it. Oh, interesting. Apparently we've had 135 dropped frames this evening, which equates to 0.0% of the live stream. It's just a step to the left. No, I'm not going to sing it. No, bad Killian. No, not going to sing it. I know none of you really want to hear me singing. Tiny bit second of lag ages ago, barely anything. Well, I mean, that's 135 frames. There's got to be, what, four and a bit seconds in total. Obviously, spread over the course of an entire stream, that's not much. But if it all hit at once, that's a reasonably annoying length. I have decided this bit is too curvy for what I wanted. It's going away. I actually probably want to do the rest of this with straight pieces. It is really stuck in my head now, Killian. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Never mind, eh? Hydration is important. See, I knew you'd find a chance to laugh at me. Didn't expect it to be in the same stream, did you? Yeah, that's how that transfer was meant to go. It was meant to crumble into multiple pieces. Right then, video warp speed engaged. I was hoping to have to talk really fast so that when you get up to this bit, you get really confused by thinking how fast it is. Yeah. Just becomes noisy if I do that, doesn't it? Convenient time. Darn convenient times. So, 10 minutes to go. Can I at least get these two splashers lined? Ow! Don't scrape yourself with the blade. There we go. They really were quite perfect. Family stream, no blood, thank you. No, it's okay. There was I did not do enough damage to actually draw blood. I have not gone through the skin. Our PG rating is safe. Same for the only crimson we get. Near it goes on to butter beans. Exactly, Javier. No, that's a lie. It's modelling truly modern without blood being spilled. It's a fair point. And there have been times when I have cut myself and bled on the live stream. Now, I'm not going to tell you to do this because it's insane, but if you went back and watched every single episode, I bet you would never notice. But there are at least 3 occasions I have drawn blood whilst streaming. Actually, there is one incident that might be noticeable because it was actually quite bad. I absolutely covered this duster with blood that night. But I think I managed to keep it hidden from the camera. Do any involve my favourite tool? They do not. I have not cut myself on the saw. But yeah, so it has happened. Right, I'm going to try and get something in this one. Because this is the most likely one to go wrong, therefore the most entertaining for the last 7 minutes of the stream. Two at the same rate, good. I don't think there's any blood left on here now. I think I got it all off. Yeah, it looks like I did. But I did absolutely cover this duster in blood that night. I kept it because I can't remember what I was doing, but I managed to keep it wrapped around it like that the whole time. And then take it off camera when I needed to move it because the blood was getting too much. Wait, what were you bleeding? I was modelling. I cut myself. Great idea for small out the other day. Problem is, centrepiece if it costs over £800. Not going to happen. Yeah, that's a rather expensive centrepiece. All the best ideas are way too expensive to do ever. Now I had seen a fascinating lad who did something kerosene through blood. Why shows kerosene is beyond me. Yeah, I'd rather not. Interestingly, whilst we're on it, this duster was brand new for the first live stream. And look at the state of it now. This has only ever been used on the live stream. The poor thing. You know what I've realised I never did? I never put any micro sol on there. I mean, the layout would look superb if done well, but nah, too much. Yeah, that's way too much. I agree. All the best ideas, including Brighton Station, Circulating 85 and AA. Yeah. I mean, that is a fantastic idea. But expensive in both money, time to do, and space. That's free, that's not both. Things YouTube recommends me. Yeah, I mean, I get some odd recommendations from YouTube, so it's fine, I get it. Space is the most expensive commodity in railway modelling. Indeed it is. I hear it's quite expensive generally as well. I think that cost Richard Branson quite a bit of money earlier. Right then, we've got 2 minutes to go. There is no way I can get that final panel on this side done in that time. There's at least 4 transfers in there, and they're fiddly ones. So we're going to call it there. We're going to put some microsol on everything. Way too much as usual, because this brush seems to soak it up really well but not want to let go of it. Some personalisers, thank you, Alex. So this is definitely the last stream for this loco, or at least of the build of it. As James points out, it may well appear if we have some streams with running things in the future. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. That's better. Join the bank holiday. Right, oh wait. Oh, you see, Sophia, the shop doesn't open on a Monday, so I get the day off anyway. Right, I have to go. Goodbye. Goodbye, Ben. We are just ending as well. Now, this is getting finished off stream, Gary. And if this is getting finished off stream, which Gary will be applying the fiddly transfers? Well, we'll get a reminder of the Upfield exhibition as well. Because, you know, Upfield exhibition, 16th and 17th of October. Doesn't light as well there, does it? Where's been track? There's been track. One SER O class. Thank you, Rob. I am quite happy with it. She certainly looks like an O class now. Picture will go up on Discord in a minute for anyone who's on there. If you're not on Discord, exclamation mark Discord in the chat, get on there. Well, we have a wonderful time with all the fun in the world and many more banters. So yes, thank you for coming, everyone. Impressive, thank you, James. I look forward to seeing it running. So will I. I'll try and remember to take it to the shop on Tuesday, and I'll run it up and down the test track and video it. I'm not promising I'll do that, but I'll try and remember. Right, folks, thanks, Gary. Yeah, good night, Rob. Thank you for coming. So yes, we have reached the end of not only this live stream, but this project. Next week we will be starting layout building with South Park Quarry, and I am very excited to get on with that. I will get it corked during the week. I'm hoping to get the cork done tomorrow with the camera pointed at it, so I can put a video out on Tuesday showing how I do the cork on the layout. And then next weekend we will aim to get at least the majority of the track down, and if we get bored with what we're doing, I've got a couple of other projects we can throw in as well. But I am really looking forward to this one. And the great thing about this layout is being built on the live stream, all you guys get to have input as well, including on how we're going to make things look. So do bring ideas. Remember, she's a sandstone quarry in Kent. So bring ideas for how she should look. In the meantime, thank you for coming, everyone. It's been absolutely wonderful having you all here. All that's left for me to say is, this has been Let's Build. I've been Gary. You've been awesome as always. Good night.